Hey, what's going on, guys? Go Gazemi here. I'm here with my boy Caleb Young, and he got third place at locals today with Mementotlan. All right.
Hello. So this is my deck profile. For my starters, I use 3 Anguich and 3 Dark Blades. They're very simple. You just get them out and start going. I also use 3 Mace, 3 Tatsu no Shigu, or Horse Mermaid, because that's what it is. 3 Goblins, and I'm just going to put out most of the deck for now. We'll do all the way over here, and one more. We'll start with extra deck monsters.
So why not 3 Ghost Attic?
So the reason I don't run 3 Ghost Attic is because you don't really need exactly 3. You could run it really 1 or 2 because you want to, under Tatsu no Shigu, you want to summon out Tatsu no Shigu, use his effect to send himself, and then send Mace, Goblin, and Gaddock, and that's all you can do because of the level restriction. And Gaddock 2 Gaddocks is a little bit, 2 Gaddocks feel more consistent and easier for the deck than 3, because 3 is a little overbearing, as well as it's just
No Berkey?
Yeah, you don't brick as much, because if you draw into all Gaddocks, Horned Dragon, and a Goblin, you're kind of stuck.
Okay. How did you feel about these ratios?
I personally like these ratios a lot more than what I was originally going to go with. I'm thinking of maybe dropping a Tatsu no Shigu, or however you say it. Mainly because I just want a little bit more hand trap space. Other than that, I really like the ratios for now. You could probably drop the Horned Dragon alone, because all you need is really 5 monsters in the graveyard to bring out Combined Creation. Good luck trying to say that name.
Nice.
So, other than that, that's mainly the main engine monsters in the main deck. Yeah.
Cool.
So I'll just quickly scoop all these guys up.
How did you feel about the consistency?
Consistency to get out for everything, it was great. Especially today, it doesn't really... Usually, before Legacy of Destruction, it feels clunky and very... I'm going to say rigid. But with after post-Legacy of Destruction, it feels much more smoother, easier to do. And you just... It's like... It's full gas, no brakes. It's all gas, no brakes.
Nice.
So, for the spells, I use 3 Bone Party, 2 Fusion, 2 Mementotlan, 2 Bone Backs, and a Called by the Grave.
Nice. Why this ratio?
Well, Called by the Grave is...
It's
Called by the Grave.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Bone Party is another really good starting card, because if, let's say, you draw into Combined Creation, Called by the Grave, Mementotlan, and then another card, your hand you brick, but you have that in hand, you have a Memento monster, this allows you to easily get to one of your starters. No questions asked. It's also really good for when your opponent starts to put down a brick wall of monsters. When you banish it from the graveyard, and let's say you have Combined Creation out on the field, you basically banish that off and have fun killing your opponent.
Nice.
Mementotlan, you could run maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe. It's dependent upon how you like the deck, how you feel about it. I rarely saw it today. It rarely came into play today, but when it did come into play, it felt really nice to have that recursion of setting back some spells, your memento spells from the graveyard, as well as traps.
Especially because you can set the Bone Party and then use it on your opponent's turn. I feel like that's really good.
Yeah, because let's say your opponent just ashes you on your Dark Blade, you're like, well, I'll set Bone Party. Anyways, cool. Yeah, that's about it for the... Oh, Bone Back. Bone Back is really situational. You can completely drop this card if you want. I'm running 2 because, let's say I lose my Anguich off the board, they banish it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can immediately, once that resolves, Bone Back, here comes the big fella.
Oh,
and he just hits the board. Also, if they move anybody out of grave, you bring everybody that was in the grave onto the field. And, well, it's chaos. So, that's mainly it. I'm thinking of changing is adding in one more fusion. I like fusion. I like it for its effects simply because you banish it, destroy a monster on the field, add any spell or trap, and you can add itself. I wish I drew into a little bit more today, but I think it did fairly well today. So I'm gonna move into the traps now. If I can... Come on. So I ran 2 Fracture Dances and 1 Cranium Burst. Mainly the reason being is because Fracture Dance, I like to run it 2, simply because first off, it's first effect, then there's the second effect. The first effect is destroy a card on the field, you target it, pop it, and if you have Combined Creation on the field, you can pop another one. Its secondary effect is when an opponent's monster and your monster are being attacked, you can banish this card from the graveyard and make your opponent's monster lose 1,000 attack. And with Mementotlan, you can always reset them from graveyard on the end of your turn. Combined Creation, very simple card to understand. When you activate this, your opponents must attack if they can. Must attack your biggest memento monster on the field. And if you have Combined Creation on the field, its secondary effect is that it allows you to negate monsters' effects on the field up to about 5 times, because every time you do so, Combined Creation loses 1,000 attack and defense. And also, if it leaves the field, Mementotlan's on the field.
And it's not once per turn either. It's just once per chain. I'm pretty sure. Yep. So you could it's like 5 Apollos negates basically.
It's a lot of fun.
But only for monsters on field, so it's a little specific.
Yeah.
But it's good.
It's really good. And then non-engine is obviously 3 Ash, 2 Super Poly, Harpy's Feather Duster, and 3 good old Imperms.
So why 2 Super Poly, 1 Duster?
So Duster is if I need to deal with back row. And Dark Blade can also help deal with the back row, simply because you summon them out, discard a card, pop something on the back row. I wanted to run 3 Super Polys, but I didn't have the cards on me today. So instead of running an extra one, I ran a full set of Imperms.
Cool.
And Ash is Ash, Imperm is Imperm, and that's about it for the main deck, and that's it for the non-engine.
Now, for the extra deck, I almost called it the fusion deck, LMAO.
Well,
it's pretty much is a fusion deck.
it is. Let's not lie.
It was incomplete because it was still a work in progress, right?
Yep, but I will admit. So this is the only archetypal thing right now in the extra deck, and I want to run 3 right now.
There's a bit of a glare, my bad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's good, it's good.
But essentially, you bring him out using Memento Fusion. You can actually bring him out using Super Poly, which is weird. But you bring him out, you use his own effect to destroy himself, and you add 2 more cards, and then you can technically use a secondary effect, I think, to summon another monster from your graveyard that is a lower level, a level 6 or lower monster from your graveyard to the field. But it's really good. And when you do so, you mainly want to leave him in the graveyard. And if you have 5 more other Memento monsters in the graveyard, and let's say you have Combined Creation in hand, you really just want to send the 5 other ones, bring out Combined Creation, and then on your opponent's turn when they activate something, bring out Twin Dragon, because if they fight Combined Creation, they get banished. So that's really why he's there.
He's a really good piece of support. Yep. And it's only a common, too.
Surprisingly. 2 Starving Venom Fusions, because we have a lot of decks that are dark, and sometimes you just need some removal. Prey Plant, same thing, but also a Negate, Mud Dragon, and Garura. I'm mainly using these as super poly targets to negate, or not negate, remove cards. So
nice. You got a lot of ways to get into your super poly with this extra deck.
Yep. And I'm currently just waiting on the new support. So
nice. If you could put more cards in here, what would you put?
I would honestly maybe throw in a IP, SP, and a Relinquished, simply because I found myself in a couple situations today where I could only bring out Key Mace or Goblin, and they get impermed or ashed, and I would, my opponents would have a bigger monster on the field, let's say Chinging, for example, and he was in a zone that I could have possibly taken. Just tribute off Key Mace or I'm saying it's Mace or Goblin. Grant relinquished, take Chinging, and then IP quickly link into SP on your opponent's turn, or access code Nightmare Phoenix. You know, simple generic links for now. So that's yeah.
All right. Is there anyone you want to shout out?
I want to shout out my boy Gukazimi.
That is how you pronounce
I'm
it.
trying to make sure. He's taught me a lot. I am grateful for learning from the master. My parents, they've been helping me a lot. They've been helping me understand a lot more. Cody, he's great. Michael West.
Shout outs to Cody. He's over there somewhere.
Yeah. Easy Gaming, because one of the best locals, if not the best locals. Joshua Dice, Miller, Matthew. He'll know who I'm talking about. And that's about it. And to my little brother who loves to torture me. So.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for today's deck profile. Thank you so much for joining us, Caleb. And I'll see you guys in the next one. All right. Peace.
Peace.